Okay, it's Martin Withers, Chief Pilot for Vulcan to the Sky. I first flew the Vulcan in 1971. I had wanted to fly aircraft like Gnats and Lightnings, and was very disappointed when I got streamed onto multi-engine flying. And all I wanted to fly then was the Vulcan, because it was the closest thing to a fighter, and it did actually drop bombs and fly at low level and was big and powerful. And I loved it right from the beginning. It's just a sort of miracle of design, built by A.V. Rowe. First one flew in 1952, and now this aircraft in 2014 still has an air of being something fresh about it. It doesn't look like, an old pre-war car. This is quite hard to identify. If you didn't know anything about it, you wouldn't think it was that old. And when it's being displayed, it's majestic and it's beautiful. But it's then so powerful and noisy that it really does seem to turn people on, and everybody loves it. We weren't really involved in any of the planning, and just had to rely on the knowledge and the skill of the planners, who are mostly navigators, in working out whether the number of Victor tankers we had and the amount of fuel we could transfer was going to work. Unfortunately, they didn't have accurate information. They didn't even have decent calculators. They were just sitting there, sometimes doing sums and calculations using slide rules. The Vulcan, this is Black Buck 1, I'm talking about the first attack on the runway. We weren't given nearly as much fuel as we needed at the last refueling, the most critical one. And really, I could have been quite justified in turning back and saying we couldn't do this mission. But I knew we had enough to get there. I didn't know what the implications of it were. We very much had the sort of Second World War carry on regardless attitude. I mean, you hear all the Lancasters, they lose one engine, they still keep going, they lose another engine, they still keep going. And this was our attitude, I think. Because something, again, you have to realise is that I didn't even know anyone currently in the service who'd been to war. None of us had actually had to do that. It's a very, very different world now. The Cold War was actually the longest period of peace, an awful long time. So it was such a strange thing to be asked to do, certainly in a Vulcan, to actually go and drop bombs on people who, up until a few weeks before, we thought were our good friends.
What are you going to do when the Vulcan stops flying? What are you going to do with your spare time?
I think I'll spend most time with messing around with cars.